Welcome everybody, my name is missmazky, and today I will be redesigning one of my Creepypasta OCs. I couldn't decide between whether to do an art style challenge video or this redesign, but I already had this little old reference of her sitting in the back of a folder and I figured I might as well get it done. As for information about this character, her name is Rose, and I believe I wrote her when I just turned 13. Or around that age anyways, because that's when I was kind of going through my whole emo phase, as you can probably tell by the design of this character. Now, unlike when I wrote Alex's Eyes, which was in a previous OC redesign you might have seen, her story is a lot better written. However, the plot of it itself is just boring and it's been done before, which is why I personally wanted to redo her and change some things. Now, when I'm redesigning her and kind of explaining to you the new version of my story, I'm still gonna keep her whole emo or edgy look because I feel like it'll make her character more interesting and work with the character. And I will explain why later in the video. But for now, I will go over her story to give you an idea of what she is or was originally. She was your stereotypical creepypasta that was bullied a lot at school and slowly went insane. Of course, there's more details, I will also explain that. Basically, she was a girl that got bullied at school. She lived with her emo sister or whatever that was apparently really popular, and all the girls made fun of her, but not her sister. I don't even know where the parents were in this story. I don't know what I was thinking. Apparently I just forgot them. But, I'll just go she lives with her sister or something. But I'm gonna change that later in the story. And then one day she comes home from school, she gets attacked or something, so when she gets home she tells her sister about it. She tries to explain to her that it's okay, but Rose here insists that she wants to become more like her, so possibly she can be liked or something like that. So her sister takes her out, gets her clothes, and gets her hair done or whatever, so she can become this popular emo girl like her sister or something. But things did not go as hoped, and when she returned to school with this new look, she got bullied twice as bad. The girls that were bullying her, physically attacked her, and so basically Rose somehow went insane in that moment and sliced them up with some secret knife or something. I don't remember what she had, but she messed them up pretty bad. And then she ran home and did some pretty crazy things. I think that's when her whole jealousy thing kind of took over, and I believe from what I remember, at least from her story, I wrote this a really long time ago, I believe she went home and she knocked her sister out and strapped her to a chair and cut her eyes out and a smile on her face. I know, Mary Sue, because that whole cutting smile definitely doesn't relate to Jeff the Killer, am I right? And I think she had a baseball bat for her final kill. I don't remember where exactly when she picked it up. I think she probably just hit her over the head. Again, I don't remember the whole thing because I wrote this a really long time ago. And I had this really weird thing. I was obsessed when creepypastas quoted something in a story, how Jeff the Killer says go to sleep or something like that, a quote they have. So mine was, I believe it was, I'll make you beautiful, which ooh, girl, that's ooh, Mary Sue. Now, the only thing I really don't have that big of a problem with in her story is her character design. I mean, it's okay. The bow is kind of tacky. The shirt is kind of lazy and quickly done because back then when I drew, it was a very quick shirt to draw, but it also gave the character some kind of style, so I didn't really put much thought into it. But I really like the color scheme on the character, so I'm gonna try to keep the same color scheme when I redesign her, but I'm keeping the hair the same. I'm just changing the bow out for some kind of ponytail with like a jewel on it or something like that. And you will see the rest of the outfit I design later in this video. But for her new story, basically as for the whole parents not being there thing, I'm gonna say not only were they sisters, I'm gonna say they were twins, and they looked a lot alike, and instead of putting them in high school, I'm gonna put them in college so they can obviously live alone and not have their parents there. But maybe they had like rich parents or something so they could afford like an apartment or a small house, I don't know, something like that. And as for the whole bullying thing, with them being identical twins, I'm gonna say the slightly younger one, Rose, and her older sister, well, slightly older sister, Violet. I'm gonna say Rose was never really bullied before this. I just think she was viewed as the more boring one because she didn't have this cool look, or she wasn't that exciting or, you know, different like her sister. And because her sister was different, it made her more popular, and therefore Rose was jealous. And maybe her sister picks on her a lot because she doesn't really have many friends because she's not popular. So maybe, let's say, she starts becoming more like this Violet girl, and when she does, the bullying starts after because everybody starts making fun of her about how she's trying to copy her and stuff like that. And after a while of bullying after that, let's say her and her sister had an argument. Let's say the older sister was really mad that she was trying to copy her, and I don't think Rose intended to kill her, which is one of the things I want to change. I think it started out as a violent argument and escalated very quickly, and she really did not want to kill her. It just ended in that way, sadly. I'm going to assume they had a baseball bat in the house because one of them probably played sports. I'm going to assume the older sister, which is probably what made her more unique and popular and gave more to her character, so she probably had it lying around the house somewhere. So I think when this little argument thing reached its highest peak of violence, Rose was probably just really angry and really upset and just started, beating her, but with not the intention to kill her. It was just pure anger and, that kind of thing. And I'm assuming when she got all of her emotions out and she went to go see if she was okay, she realized that she was now dead, and now she just didn't know what to think. She had a lot of thoughts going through her head. She didn't know what to do. She just killed her twin sister. I mean, that's definitely something. And now for my big twist that I definitely think would make the story much more original and interesting, because they were identical twins and you really couldn't tell them apart whatsoever, and because Rose here started already changing her look to look more like Violet, I think that now Rose wanted to become Violet. So anyways, now this thought that she has going through her head, she's thinking that if she gets rid of this body, she can just say that quote-unquote Rose disappeared and Violet is somehow here, like maybe Rose got kidnapped or something or went missing. So now she is acting as Violet and pretending as if Rose is missing. And not only does it work out for her because this is all she ever wanted, but now she doesn't have a whole murder case on her hands or something like that. But now I'm going to explain a few things about her new design. I'm still going to keep the baseball bat in her design, but I'm not gonna make it all bloody because it still adds that little something to her character, and, well, I mean, she probably wouldn't want to throw away this important baseball bat that belonged to her sister. I also decided to keep her purple Converse and her black jeans, but she's going to be wearing a blue and purple plaid flannel, and under it is just a black shirt with like a white X on it because I just thought it added a little something to the design without making it look bland. I'm also still keeping her choker. You can't currently see the choker at the moment, but later in the video, it will be drawn. Another thing I would like to mention about her character, to me personally, in the original and both the new version, she's not really scary. In the original, it was just kind of messed up in your stereotypical quote-unquote horror story. And in the new version, I mean, it's still messed up, but I don't really think it's scary whatsoever. It's more dramatic, in my opinion, and I guess I'll still call her a creepypasta OC, but I won't as often associate her with it, but I'm still just gonna keep the name because that's what she originally was. Like, literally, the only quote-unquote scary thing about the original design was the fact that when I drew her, I covered her in blood, and I put, like, dark circles around her eyes, because I thought that added some kind of creepy effect when I was, like, some edgy 13-year-old. Oops, I'm sorry about that. I accidentally hit one of my, audio buttons. And currently the thing I'm editing with is kind of glitchy, and for some reason I can't take parts out, so that's just gonna have to stay in. But back to the character, even in her new version, again, like I mentioned, she's not particularly scary, but I think her story is much more realistic, other than her old one. I don't know, in my opinion, it just works a lot better, but rather than your typical Mary Sue that got bullied and went insane and got the quote and it's covered in blood and stuff. It's not even creepy whatsoever. But I guess it's still a good thing I wrote her and had some more practice, because after that, my story started improving a lot more and getting a lot better. So I guess that's a perk. And a few of my other creepypasta OCs aren't perfect, and I'm not 100% happy with them, but I still won't do a remake on them, because to me, I think they're good enough to the point where they don't really need to be changed much. But that's about all the time I have now. I hope you enjoyed this redraw, and I do hope I see you next time.